Chris, let's bring you in here. I think you mentioned the working capital situation earlier. So the farmers you work with, are they prepared for these types of opportunities? The type where, Friday afternoon, you have to let somebody know by Sunday night.
Yeah, I think a lot of the guys we work with have that balance sheet, really in good shape. The working capital, like Grant brought up, is really the key though, and having yourself positioned for being able to do that. I think a lot of operations too are looking for that high quality land too, and so that's the other thing is there's a certain type of land that a lot of these guys are looking for. It's not maybe the low quality, but that mid-range stuff that they can improve and work on, I think has been more attractive lately from kind of what we've seen. And the other thing I would say that we see that sometimes gets forgotten is the contribution margin to the additional acres that brings, because all of a sudden then you're spreading those fixed costs out over a lot more acres, and that has a bigger impact than people realize when you sit down and you do the math on that. And when we look at cost production change on a fairly large purchase, even last year with a client, it was it was actually way better than I thought it was going to be. When we sat down and looked at the cash flow and looked at how they were going to be able to manage that moving forward. So I think you really got to sit down and not only be ready to do it and make that decision in 7 days, like Evan said, but I think you got to make sure that you look at all angles of the math and not just the cost, but what are some of the benefits too.